And the boats in their canards warming up for Heat 2A. The lineup shows Jerry Hale and Miss Vons in the inside lane, Miss Budweiser and Mark Webber in lane 4. And because he won Heat 1, Mark Tate goes all the way to the outside in the close call phone card. After Heat 1B, the close call came back to the pitch, found the rear of the boat had been damaged. So they started repairs. They did have the luxury of a little fiberglass drying time and were smoothing the surface just a few hours before this heat. So we'll see if that affects the close call's performance now in Heat 2.
What they're working on there is that's kind of like a mini sponson at the transom of the boat. It's we call them shoes, but they're like a wheelie bar in a dragster. They give the boat lift at the back of the boat.
Heading for the green flag, Tate will have to come from the outside in order to repeat and win here in heat number 2. Again, Mark Webber is in lane 4, Steve David in between them. Those should be the fastest boats, although they are on the outside because this is the inverted start. When you get to heat 2, the better you did in heat 1, the farther out you're going to start. Tate with a very good start.
He's got to stay really wide because he has to be aware of the other boats on his inside. Stephen David there off to his left, and the Budweiser inside Stephen David.
A lot of room there in between Steve David and the Budweiser. Miss Vons on the inside already falling back as they come around the turn, and Tate still has the lead as we get aboard with Mark Webber.
Well, you can see the canard is working a lot better now. It's not flapping like it was in the earlier heat, and he's putting some downforce on it right now. You saw the wing tip up. That puts downforce on the boat, keeps it glued into the water.
Mark Tate seems to have close call glued into the water pretty well, but Mark Webber has grabbed the lead on him at this point. On board with the Budweiser, the Zodiac average lap speed 153 miles an hour, and that's moving. You can feel it right here in the cockpit with Mark. Look at this, side by side, deck to deck, from the bat eye in the sky.
Mark Tate is really pushing hard to win this heat. He's right on the hip of the Miss Budweiser. That's good close racing, everything legal there, but the Bud's out accelerating him coming off that turn.
Mark Webber getting more used to the Budweiser with each successive week, so therefore should be able to drive it better, and he has the shorter route to go.
This is almost like Mark Webber's first race because he hasn't made any of the final heats in the previous 2 events because of incidents. He's doing a fine job now.
After Mark took over for Dave Villwock in Kelowna, he had a fuel line problem, wound up not being able to run in the final or even the provisional to make the final. Then the following week in Seattle, as you know, Jimmy King, Miss Elam Plus, ran up on top of the Budweiser and busted it up terribly. So they really had to work like heck to get it ready for this race here in San Diego.
We're back inside the Budweiser. It's just running flawlessly. The water conditions are really perfect. We went through a real fast, hard corner there. One thing I wanted to point out is the snorkel on all these boats. That's the big air intake above the cockpit. That's unique to the saltwater events.
Budweiser now lengthening the lead. It was just too long a trip for Mark Tate to get this one. Mark Webber taking advantage of the inverted start, and it looks like he will be able to get a win here in Heat 2A. Which means 400 O'Doul's points, and every point is important as Close Call tries to close the gap for that championship for the whole season. 400 points is something that Budweiser desperately needs at every opportunity, because it is likely it's all going to come down to the final race in Honolulu, headquartered at the Outrigger Hotels. Mark Webber right now headquartered across the finish line. The checkered flag goes to him. He picks up those 400 points. We got a view from Mark's happy vantage point. Stephen David takes 3rd in the Harvey Motorsports. And we'll check the Fruit of the Loom results. So far in San Diego, Close Call has the most points. Budweiser with 625. And Computers and Applications, Ken Muscatel's boat unable to start. He's had troubles all year. But you'll have no trouble finding out what's going on in unlimited hydroplane racing. Check out the UHRA website, www.uhra.com. Get yourself dialed in or perhaps modemed in. Let's go down to the dock and check with the winner.
Mark, that was a victory this team really needed.
Oh, you know that, don't you? It's, you know, I said we were going to have a good Sunday. We didn't have a good Saturday. We were top qualifier, and then we had the canard break yesterday. But Ronnie and Dewey and Dave and Bernie, they all promised me they'd give me the Miss Budweiser we all know and love, and that was a lot of fun. That was a good heat.
Good to see her back on the water.
Oh yeah, it's good for me. I needed that. I know Bernie needed it, but I needed it probably worse.